Okay, so I am now talking about profiles, and I did a couple sketches right now to kind of warm up, but I'm looking at a few references. This one here is Holbein. I think they're both Holbein. Oh no, I'm pretty sure that's Holbein. And this one as well. This one, we really, really subtly see the other eye, so it's not a perfect profile, but that's a perfect profile. I know there was a Jesus face somewhere, like a French Baroque, Rococo, yeah. Thank you. Here's another one. So when you are doing profile, you're still going to employ the rhythm chart, but we're gonna be looking at some little shorthand versions to really sketch out the curvature of the face. So in this one, actually I think this was an Italian drawing, but this is a great example. Look at the curve here. That's one of the first lines you want to get. It's very easy to get overwhelmed and distracted with how complex in and out this line is. But if you just start very generally, find the eye level, find the bottom of the nose, find the mouth. If you follow that process, you're going to be fine. So I'll show you, I did this little drawing, this sketch just now based on this guy. And you can see, like, you can just have fun with profiles. I did not draw his profile exactly the same. I really changed it up, but you can pull things in and out and see how they change. So I'm going to do a drawing. Let me do some sketches for you first. So there's a little shorthand way to draw things in profile. It's essentially just this. So here's the cranium, the back of the head. And then you can see I just represented the front plane of the face with one arc, like that. Came in for the mandible up, comes into the ear. This is like a nice little shorthand. And then you can really get directionality really well. You can have a head looking up. It'll be good for you guys to also like eventually study the muscles of the neck, because there you have some beautiful sternocleidomastoid or something. Sternostato. Let's make up my own anatomy. Just ignore me. Say it again, ladies. So it's going from the sternum is here, sternoclavicle, clavoid, and mastoid processes back here behind the ear. So it's this beautiful muscle that's kind of bringing all those together.
This one right here, the big one here.
You guys can feel it on you?
It's what holds your head in place, like so your neck doesn't, like this holds the neck.
Behind your ear, right? It's starting like right behind here. It's coming down and it's wrapping. It's so pretty.
And it attaches to the clavicle.
It's like pit in the neck. Well, when somebody goes like this, you can see it.
What is the angle of the last one?
I have it tilted up.
Oh, I see it.
Kind of showing the neck. We can also have a face looking down. Something like that. And now what you can do, my teacher always taught us this, look. See what I did right there? Those are 3 parallel lines. This is top of the eye socket, which will become the top of the eye. bottom of the nose and the angle of the top lip. That's kind of like a cool little trick to just get something working for you really fast. I'll do it again. Front plane of the face, here, boom, boom, boom. Nice little shorthand to get you started. So I'm gonna now, let's do a real drawing. Let's do, this one's leaning back. I think I'm gonna do this man again, or some version of it.
Looks like a guy.
Huh?
Looks like somebody in a.
All right, so let's draw this together. When I'm doing that sphere, it's this, right? The entire cranium. All that brain, keep it round and nice. Front of, what are we calling this? Front plane of the face. So sometimes when you're learning, you might have to readjust certain things, like sometimes you draw the ear too big or too far back. Just be ready to adjust that, so keep your lines nice and light. Typically you do have muscles down here. Don't know what they're called. You guys are like, thank God she doesn't know what they're called because she's gonna repeat it like a million billion times.
Double chin muscles.
Double chin muscle. Sternocleidomastoid. Okay, so that's pretty much where you want to start. Don't dedicate too much. Now let's follow the same procedure we've been doing. We're going to first find the level of the eyes, the level of the bottom of the nose, and the lips. So let's see. I'm going to kind of go with Holbein over here. Just dropping it in. And for myself, what I do a lot of is I really want to find what's going on with the eye as soon as possible, because that's going to be like the major landmark in this position of the face. It's going to orient everything else before I really get into the full profile, because it's going to tell me, you know, if this is kind of where the brow is beginning. So now I'm going to put in the rhythm chart. Let's do it. But it's such a weird angle. How do you draw the rhythm chart? You have to think of it spatially. So instead of the frontal bone being perfectly round, now it's going to be an ellipse because it's going to be on an angle. So let's do that. And I'm going to start setting in a nose here so I don't get lost. I think that's a good point to drop that in. Kind of see how I'm being very broad in general with this. I can always refine it later. Zygomatic arch. Top of the brow going into the nose, top of the brow going into the nose. Muzzle. Side of the cranium, the temporalis is going to be in here. Okay. So now, when it comes to the profile, it is going to be about really observing that line and those proportions. So from here on out, you're going to get in there and you're going to feel out that nose. It's cool because this reference does have a little bump in the nose, and now we know why that is. That's that transition between bone and cartilage. So you can put that in there. I'm going to do that little thing at the edge. Here's the bottom of the nose. Put a little gouache shadow there. Core shadow, cast shadow. Get them all mixed up. Kind of dyslexic about my shadows. Okay, so watch this. Now we're looking at the eyeball in profile. Same principles. So he's looking this way. He's looking forward. So the eyelid is still going to be wrapping around. I am using the drawing as my guide, the Holbein drawing. And there's going to be that core shadow in here. Okay. Brows. Lisa and I looked up the name of the muscle on the brow. It sounded like alligator. It had gator at the end. Remember?
Corrugator.
Oh, corrugator. Corrugator? Okay, this is called corrugator. And we saw it on Robert's face while you guys were taking your break. We were studying Robert's face. And you can really see it on this drawing. See all the subtlety in that? Very beautiful. And now the lips, we're looking at from the side. This man has very voluminous lips. Fortunately, he has a mustache, otherwise this would immediately look like a woman in my drawings. So yeah, just observe that profile. I'm starting to fall in here. Some people do have that, but just watch out. Sometimes this muzzle area is actually pushed farther forward. I think I'm going to correct that. I'm going to bring this more out. This man's is more vertical in his profile. It's more straight here. So we'll just watch for that. I guess it's a woman now. Looks more like a woman. We'll put some locks on her. So then from here out, just watch what this shadow is doing. It's probably like his is very, very, very soft. He does not have a very defined mandible. So some people do, some people don't. And then also watch the angle of the ear. It seems to be tilted more back. Sometimes we just want to like put it on there, but just observe what it's doing. You can get some really nice three-dimensionality from that. And then hair will go on top. Okay. So here's some other little scribbles I did. Look at, well, this one's missing back of the head. Like it really should be like way out here. But here's like a little scribbly profile. You can play around with them. And then this was the one with the man with the hat. So,
Do you have any suggestions when you're just outside and you just want to do some quick sketches of how to quickly put down the face? Do you do all of the rhythm methods, or do you do shorthand?
yeah, I have a shorthand that I've developed. So just practice first with a lot of the rhythm chart, and then when you're out and about, let's say you're in daylight and you have some really great cast shadows, it's just going to make all your understanding of everything much more informed. See, like here, I'm not technically using rhythm chart, but rhythm chart is going on in my brain. Always, yeah. See, like this little drawing here is still structured, and I'm aware of the groups. See? So the last thing to go over, I'm going to pause this.